Namaskar. Good morning. Today we will be talking about the connection between the science and spirituality, and we will try to explore the unity of energy and consciousness. We will be dealing with two concepts. One is the concept of relativity as given by Albert Einstein in his formula E is equal to mc². And the second is Om, which is the fundamental proposition of sound in the Indian philosophy. So let's start with a brief introduction of what Albert Einstein said in E is equal to mc². This was a formula which was given by Albert Einstein and is one of the most iconic equations in physics. It means that energy equals mass multiplied by the square of the speed of velocity of light. And this reveals the interchangeability of mass and energy, symbolizing that mass and energy are the two manifestations of the same thing. And it transformed our understanding of universe and is the foundation of nuclear physics and cosmology. When we come to Om, it is a primordial sound in the Indian spiritual tradition, especially in Vedanta and Yoga philosophy, and it is believed to be the sound of the universe, the vibration from which all creation emerges, and it symbolizes the consciousness, vital energy that is prana, and the cosmic unity. It is mention has been found in Upanishads, and it is the eternal syllable that connects the inner self with the cosmos. And now the question arises, why we want to compare the two concepts? The both represent the universal principles, one through science and other through spirituality. E is equal to mc² symbolizes the physical unity of matter and energy, where Om symbolizes the spiritual unity of consciousness and creation. Exploring these parallels helps to bridge the gap between the rational inquiry and the mystical experience. And the objectives of this presentation and the discourse is to discover the common ground between modern physics and ancient wisdom, to explore how energy, vibration, and universal unity are centered to both the paradigms, and to inspire a holistic understanding of reality where science and spirituality converge. Let's start with the E is equal to mc², which was given by Albert Einstein in his special theory of relativity in 1905. And it fundamentally changed how we understand space, time, and energy, and showed that the laws of physics are the same for all non-accelerating observers, and that the speed of light is constant regardless of the observer's motion. And one of the most revolutionary outcomes of this theory is the formula is equal to mc², like we discussed earlier. And it signifies that a small amount of mass can be converted into a huge amount of energy. It symbolizes that matter and energy are interchangeable and they are forms of the same entity. A tiny mass holds enormous energy, which is the principle behind the nuclear energy. And the universe is not made of static matter, but vibrating, dynamic, and energy fields. And what we gather from this, that the universe is dynamic, and everything around us, right from stars to atoms, is essential energy in motion. This view aligns with the idea of the universe as a field of vibrations and transformation, and it opens doors to modern physics, quantum mechanics, and cosmology, influencing technological advancements and philosophical interpretations of reality. Now let's analyze the origin of Om, and it's one of the oldest sacred songs which first mentioned in Vedas, particularly in the Mundak Upanishad. It is not just a chant but a metaphysical concept in Indian philosophy and considers the cosmic vibration from which the entire universe emanated. Om represents Brahma, the infinite, unchanging reality behind the changing universe. In Advaita Vedanta, Brahma is a pure consciousness, the ground of all existence. Chanting Om is seen as aligning one's consciousness with the universal consciousness. Om represents three sounds. It consists of three sounds. First is A, symbolizing creation, that is Brahma. U, that is preservation, symbolizing Vishnu. M, symbolizing dissolution, that is Lord Shiva. And together they represent the entire cycle of life and the eternal rhythm of the cosmos. The silence after chanting Om signifies Turiya, the fourth state of pure consciousness beyond waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. According to yogic and Vedantic traditions, Om is the subtle vibration underlying all existence. It is said that the entire cosmos resonates with this sound at the fundamental level, and similar to the scientific concept of background cosmic vibrations or universal frequency. Now, let's compare the two concepts. If the domain is concerned, E is equal to mc square, the physics is the domain, while for Om, spirituality is the domain. And for nature, E is equal to mc square is scientific in nature, where Om is metaphysical in nature. And the core idea behind E is equal to mc square is the mass and energy are the manifestations of the same. And Om signifies that self and universe are the same manifestations. As from form is concerned, E is equal to mc squared is a mathematical equation where Om is a sound or vibration and is equal to mc square originated in 1905. And Om is much before that in Vedic text in around 1500 BC. Now, let's go to the deeper connections between the two. Both point to oneness in the universe. Though emerging from different traditions, both reflect a deep and foundational unity. And science and spirituality, rather than conflicting, complement each other in their quest to understand reality. E is equal to mc square is the unity of matter and energy. And Einstein's equation revealed that matter can be transformed into energy and vice versa. And there's no true separation. The material and the energetic are interdependent. This unity suggests that duality is an illusion at the fundamental level of nature. Om is the unity of individual and cosmos. Om teaches that Atma is not separated from Brahma. This non-duality philosophy states, yet you are that is Tat Tvam Asi. The vibration of Om is said to resonate through all of the creations, binding everything as one. And both concepts challenge the illusory nature of dualism, whether through physics or meditation. Seekers arrive at a wisdom of interconnected wholeness. This echoes ancient and modern wisdom at all disconnections to at the deepest level of reality. The modern science, all matter vibrates. This is the quantum field theory. And in the newly evolved string theory also suggests a similar thing. So in quantum physics, particles are not solid objects. They are excitations of underlying energy fields. Matter at its core is a form of a vibrating energy. Nothing is truly static. And the string theory even posits that the smallest components of matter are vibrating strings of energy. Every atom and subatomic particle oscillates with its own frequency, forming the vibrational fabric of reality. In Vedantic philosophy, Om is called the sound of creation, the original vibration from which the cosmos emerged. And in the Mundak Upanishad, which explains Om as encompassing all states of consciousness and well being. Just as quantum fields vibrate to create particles, Om vibrates to create the cosmos and ancient metaphysics. Motion, not stillness, is the nature of existence. Whether it's atom or galaxies, everything vibrates. This vibrational perspective unites modern physics, ancient spirituality, and even music and healing traditions. Reality, whether defined through equations or chants, is the energy in motion, and vibration is its universal signature. Now, let's come to scientific mistakes. How the Western scientists were influenced by Indian philosophy. We start with Albert Einstein, and he respected the profound insights of Indian thinkers. And he once said, "We owe a lot to the Indians who taught us how to count, but much more." Einstein appreciated the idea of a cosmic order, unity in diversity, and timeless truth, which is present in the Indian philosophy. And he maintained a deep reverence for the mystic of the universe, blending scientific reason with spiritual awe. Now let's see Schrödinger and Heisenberg. The Schrödinger, who was the father of the quantum wave theory, was deeply influenced by Advaita Vedanta. He believed in the oneness of consciousness, the idea that individual minds are part of one universal mind. And he quoted this: "There is no multiplicity of selves, but only one." Heisenberg, another famous quantum scientist, who is known for his uncertainty principle, engaged in dialogues with Indian scholars, especially Rabindranath Tagore. He was struck by how ancient Eastern thought mirrored modern quantum physics. And he noted in his book, "After conversations with Indian scholars, I began to see how deeply this philosophy fits you, the quantum theory." And after analyzing their books, we see that these scientists were not just theorists, they were seekers. They saw that the frontiers of physics led naturally into the questions of consciousness, existence, and reality. Their engagement with Indian philosophy shows how science and spirituality are not opposed. They are different languages of the same truth. Though their lives and thoughts, they created a bridge between quantum mechanics and Vedic metaphysics. And what we learn is a unified quest for truth. Historically viewed as separate or even conflicting, science and spirituality are now seen as complementary approaches to understanding existence. Both explore the same reality, one through the objective mind, the other through the inner self. Like Albert Einstein once said, "Science without religion is lame, religion without science is blind." Science seeks what is the universe made of, how does it work? Spirituality seeks who am I, what is the purpose? Both engage in deep inquiry, observation, and reflection, just with different tools. Science uses information, equations, and data. Spirituality uses meditation, introspection, and consciousness. In the end, both paths converge on unity, harmony, and interconnected. The physics explains how. Physics reveals the mechanics, how energy became matter, how galaxies move, how atoms behave. Spirituality reveals the meaning, why we exist, what connects us, what lies beyond the life and death. Together, they form a holistic understanding. E is equal to mc² is the dance of energy and matter. Om is the soul of that cosmic dance. So this is the crux. Now, what we gather is equal to mc² and ohm are the two lenses to view the same reality. One is the crown jewel of modern physics explaining the energetic essence of matter, while Om is the eternal sound of Vedic wisdom symbolizing the vibrational essence of existence. While one comes from the lab, the other one comes from the lotus seed. Both uncover the underlying unity as the Rigved rightly points. Truth is one, sages call it by many names. When we unite the rational mind of science with the intuitive depth of spirituality, our understanding becomes holistic and multidimensional. Science gives us precision, technological progress, and understanding of the united cosmos, while spirituality gives us meaning, inner peace, and understanding of the inner cosmos. Together, they guide us not only to know the world, but also to know ourselves. Now, what we should? We need to both eyes to see the depth. Logic and intuition, calculations and contemplation, empirical proof and experimental proof. Embracing both allows humanity to progress not only technologically but also consciously. And in the end, I will conclude by a famous quote: may we walk the path where equations meet equals and where mind and spirit rise together. Thank you for today.